Hello everyone, this is again Prashant from Tech and Training Corporate Solutions Private Limited. If you need any kind of help on this video, you can always get in touch with me on this number which is mentioned in my this worksheet, and also you can write to me on this email ID. Today I am going to tell you about how to get unique value from the list of duplicate value. Now you must be thinking that what is the big deal in this one? We can also do the same thing from the data tab, and inside data tab that is remove duplicates, or we can also use advanced filter for the same. That is correct, but this we have to operate manually again and again. Suppose if I have data of, let's say, 1000 line item, and I want to get only the unique value from the list, I do not want to use this option, that is advanced filter and the remove duplicates again and again. I want some formula which should give me the unique value as soon as I paste my data in my master sheet. So that's the reason I thought that of creating a video on a formula which will help me to get the unique value from the database. So let's see the formula. Here I'll go to this worksheet, and something this kind of data I'm looking for. Now here if you see in this column, so there are various departments are there, and departments are also getting repeated in this column. So I don't want to see the duplicate values in this data. So for this, what you need to do is, first of all, we have to identify which is duplicate and which is the unique. So for that, I will take the help of COUNTIF function. Now what COUNTIF function will do? Let me give you an idea about the COUNTIF function, why I'm using this COUNTIF function. Now, if I tell you to count number of sales department in the selected cell, that is in D3, what will be the answer? My answer would be 1. Why 1? Because in this cell, I can see only one sales department. But if I ask you that within these two cells, now the value which is present in D4, how many times is getting repeated within this range? Now your answer will be 2. Yes, that is correct. Because when I ask you in this cell, you said 1, that is correct. But now I have selected 2 cells. Within these 2 cells, there are 2 times this sales department is getting repeated. So that's the reason your answer will be 2. Similarly, now if I increase this range, now if the range is of now 3 cells, and if I ask you that how many times this admin department, that is which is present in D5, is repeating, so your answer will be 1. So likewise, we want to find out the unique value. Okay, I want to find out the count of the sales department, admin department, marketing department, and so on. But I want the count for this first cell as 1, and when I drag my formula to next cell, it should give me count for second cell as 2 and 3 for this cells, and so on. So to get this count type of count, what I'll do is I'll take the help of COUNTIF function. And how to write the arguments in COUNTIF function, let's see. So we'll write COUNTIF, COUNTIF. Now the range would be not the entire D column, but I'm going to select only one single cell to get the count for this cell as 1 and for this as 2. So in order to count like this, we have to make this range a dynamic range which will increase based on my requirement when I drag it further vertically. So the range would be like this, D3 to D3, and comma, I want to count within the same cell, that is D3. Let me explain you about this formula. So D3 to D3, that means this is the same cell. And within the same cell, I'm counting what? I'm counting this D3, that is the value of this D3, that is sales. And within this cell, if you are counting as sales, then you will get always count as 1. But now what I'll do is I'll freeze this first D3, so that when I drag it vertically, my row number of this D3 should not change, but I want for this D3 and this D3 should change. So here D is the column and 3 is the row. So I want here 3 should change to 4, and here also 3 should change to 4. Now what will happen if I do it like this? Now when I'm completing this formula, and if I press enter, it will give me count as 1 here, but when I drag it down, it will change its count to 2. Now what happens to this formula? Why it's giving me 2 in the next cell for the second sales department? If you check the formula, now my range is not D3 to D3, this time it is D3 to D4. So when I drag it down, so D3 becomes D4 over here, and in this way you can see that range of two cells, and I'm counting what? I'm counting the value which is present in D4, so that is sales once again. Within these two cells, this sales is repeating twice, so that's the reason I'm getting count as 2 over here. Similarly, for this admin, if you see, I'll get count as 1 because if you check the range here, the range is D3 to D5, and within this range, this admin is repeating only one time, and that's the reason I'm getting 1 for the admin. Likewise, if I drag my formula further, so you can see that I'm getting 2 for this R&D. Why? Because within this range, there are 2 times this R&D is repeating, and here I'm getting 1 for the R&D because if you see the range is from D3 to D7, and within this range only 1 time this R&D is present, and that's the reason here I'm getting 1. So likewise here 3 for this R&D and 3 for this sales. Okay, so in this way we got the count of the particular department, and if it is 1, that means that value is unique in that list, or you can say it is the first in that list. So now this time what I want to do is I want to find out the count of only the unique value, or I want to get the record where this 1 is reflected. So how to get the same thing using this index function. So how to start with the index function, let's see. So index is another type of lookup technique. It's just like a VLOOKUP only. So where we need to enter the array. Array means the entire reference table from where I want to extract the data. Then it's asking for the row numbers. So I'm going to find out the row number for all the ones. And the third argument in the index function is the column number. So where I'll get the column number from this table. So the column number for the department is 4. So if you count it from here, so this is my 1, 2, 3 and 4. So that's why we have to write here 4. Now how to write this formula, let's see. So first of all we need to select the data like this, the entire data in array. So that is, it's telling me to select the reference table. Now as soon as you select the entire range, you need to freeze it, so that when I drag my formula vertically, it should not change its reference. So that's the reason we have freezed the row and column of this array using dollar symbol. Now comma. Now here we want to find out the row number of only the 1. And also if you see, the row number for this would be like this. I want it should be 1 over here. And for this, it should give me 3. And for this one it should give me 4. For this it should give me 5. So I'll write a formula in such a way that I'll get a row number only for this one, like this. Now here for this I want 1, for this one I want 3, because if you start your counting from this particular cell, then this is 1, this is 2 and this is 3. So I want it for this one as 3, then for this as 4 and then 5 and so on. Now in order to get the row number like this, what I'll do is I'll take the help of if function. But after getting the row number, I want to find out the department for this particular one. So for that I need to find out the smallest value amongst this row number first, and then second smallest, then third smallest, then fourth smallest, and likewise, so that it should give me all the unique value like this. And for that we also need to take the help of small function. Now what is small function? Let's see. Now when we write small function, array as this one, and comma k is the position. So when I type 1 and close the bracket, press enter, it will give me the 1. But suppose if I change this value of k to 2, then it will give me 3, the second one. And likewise we'll use the same formula to get the third smallest value. Now why I want this first smallest value, second smallest value, third smallest value? The reason is, now in this cell I'll try to get the value for this particular one, that is sales, this one. But when I drag this formula to second row, then automatically it should give me the value for this 3, that means admin. And that's the reason we have to take the help of this small function. So first we'll write the small function, and inside that we'll use the function. So let's see how to do that. Okay, it has to be done with the array method. It is not a normal formula, it's a advanced formula. So let's see how to write the array formula. So we'll start with small function. Now there are two arguments are there in the small function, array and decay. Array means the array or range from which you want to find out the first smallest value or the second smallest value or third smallest value, right? So in this case, this will be my array. From this, I want to find out the position of all the ones. We'll write the small function, and inside that we'll write a if function. Now why we are using a function? Because here we want the range, and range has to be in such a way that it should include only one. It should not include 2, 3 or 4, which is a duplicate value. So that's the reason we are looking for range which includes only one. We'll write a formula like this. We'll take this as a range. If this range is equals to 1, now before you write equals to 1, please make sure that after you select the range, you do not forget to freeze it. So we'll freeze it using F4 button like this. Now if this entire range, if it is equals to 1, then only I want row number like this, 1, 3, 4, 5. So that's the reason we'll write comma, and there is a function by the name row function. We'll use that function to get the row number for this value. Now let's try to understand row function as well. So what your row function will do, it will just give you the row number in which your active cell is present. So let's say if this is my active cell, or if this is my active cell J12, so it will give you row number for J12. So you know that the cell which I have selected is the 12th row. So in this way, this row function will give me 12. So here I'll take the help of a row function over here to get the row number for each and every one, and I want a row number in such a way that it should not give me 3 for this row number. I want 1 for this row, and 3 for this row, 4 for this row, and 5 for this row, and so on. So in that case, what I have to do is I have to write formula like this, that is, if any of this value within this range is equals to 1, then give me row number for this entire range in which 1 is present. Again, it's a range, so freeze it by pressing F4 button. Now I'll get the row number only if within this range, if any value is equals to 1. So it will give me row number. So the output of the row function will be like this. I'll get 3 as a row number. For 4th row, I'll get row number as 4. And 5th row, I'll get row number as 5. And for 6th row, I'll get row number as 6. But I do not want row number to be like this. I want row number should be 1, 2, 3, 4. So in order to get to 1, 2, 3, 4, so I have to subtract these row number from 2. So that for this I'll get 1, for this I'll get 2, 3, 4, and so on. So in order to get row number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on, so I need to subtract this row number, whatever output I'm getting from this row function, I have to subtract this entire row function from 2. Now a value of false, let's leave it blank because it's in square bracket. Square bracket means this argument is optional. So we can close the bracket directly to complete this if function. Now this entire if function will give me the array. That means range. I want the kth smallest value from this range. So that's the reason I need to enter 1 over here. In order to get ones, again I need to take the help of row function. Row function will give me the row number of active cell. I'll take the help of this row function in order to get the position, the smallest position. So I'll write row, and you can take the reference of any cell in the first row. So let's take I1 as a reference. Now close the bracket. This completes my small function. So now we need to close one more bracket to close this small function. It will take me to again index function. So index function, it's asking me the last column number, that column number from which I want to fetch the data. So here I want to fetch the data from D column. From the department I want the unique value. So that's the reason we need to enter the column number for the department. So what would be the column number for department? Let's see. So if I start my counting from here, so this is my first column, this is my second, this is my third, and this department is in fourth column. So in order to fetch the value from the D column, I have to enter column number as 4. So let's write 4 over here and close the bracket, because this completes my index function too. Now as this function is an array function, so we cannot press simply enter. We need to press Control Shift and enter to convert this entire formula into an array function. So let's press Control Shift and enter button, and this way I got sales as a department, which is unique from this list. And if I further drag it, it should give me the next unique value, that is admin. Then if I further drag it, it will give me the next unique value, and then further drag it, it will give me unique value from the entire range. And if I further drag it, it will give me an error, so num error, because no further unique value remains. So that's the reason it's giving me an error. So we can replace this entire formula, or you can write this entire formula within the if error function, which will help you to replace all the errors with nothing. That means we can keep it blank, double quote, double quote. Now the first argument of this if error function is value, in which we have to write the entire index function. Whatever formula is giving me an error, we have to write that entire index function as value. Then comma, and I do not want anything. I want the cell has to be remain blank. If there is an error, so we'll type double quote then double quote. So double quote basically we use only when we write any non-numerical value within the formula. So as this space is, or the blank is not a number, so we have to always include this blank in the double inverted quotes. So after doing that, we have to close the bracket and again press Ctrl Shift and enter. Now if I drag it further down, so now you can see that I'm getting just the unique value. I'm not getting any error in this range. Okay, error is removed and you can still see the formula. So in this way we can get the unique value from the list. And this formula is very helpful when we create some kind of dashboard where we do not want remove duplicates or filter to remove the duplicate values and to get only the unique value. So thank you friends. If you like this video, please do not forget to subscribe it. Thank you. Bye bye. Have a nice day.